Alright, I am going to show you how to access vSphere. Okay, first thing we need to do is get the vSphere client. Two ways to get this. You can go to vc.cyber.rose.edu. That's actually, let me bring this down inside the window so you can see it. Okay, there you go. You can go to vc.cyber.rose.edu. You can go here. Now, the first time you connect to this page, you're going to get this error. Normally, I would tell you, don't go here because those errors are bad. What that means is the certificate is invalid. Okay, we manage our own certificate here. It is a valid certificate. It's just not registered with a certificate authority. You'll learn about that in other classes. Now, it doesn't mean the certificate's not working. It's working fine. It's encrypting everything just fine. It's just not trusted through a certificate authority. Now, we do not store any personal information here. We don't have usernames. We don't have anything. This is a totally separate login. So you manage the username and password. Well, actually, you manage the password yourself. But we don't store student information. We don't store anything. So there's really nothing being transferred that's at risk. But it does encrypt it. It is a valid certificate. It's just not trusted. So I'm going to say I understand this risk. I'm going to add an exception for it. Alright, now, when you first connect, you're going to see this. Now, we've upgraded to vSphere 5 in the last month or two, so it's a little bit different. To get the client, you need to click on this Download vSphere Client link right here. Okay? You can also read the documentation. You can also even use the web client. But I highly recommend you download the client because even if you use the web client, it still needs to download the client. Okay? So there's way one you can get it. That works good, but actually a quicker way to get it. So if you go to my Rose website, my.rose.edu/faculty/kdewey, if you go there, right here I also put the latest vSphere 5.5 client. That's actually the quickest way to get it. If you click right there, you download it, you have it. Now, I'll probably upload it into the Dropbox as well, but this is the best way to get it. You click right here, download it, install it. Do the whole next, go through everything. And once you install it, you'll end up with this. Let it load. That's what you get. Okay? Now, the first time you go to use the client, this IP address area will be blank. Okay? You need to put in vc.cyber.rose.edu. Now, some of you might not be running with administrator privileges. You need to run this as an administrator for it to install correctly. So if the install has any issues, right-click on the icon you're installing to run as administrator. So it's vc.cyber.rose.edu. Now your usernames are in the format of first-last-rsc. Okay? Now some of you had an account for a long time and it does not include the RSC. If that's you, well, we didn't change it, so that's fine. But the newer students like Sean and a couple in Jackson I just enrolled, you do have the RSC on here. So try first-last-RSC. So another Ken-Dewey-RSC. Okay. Your password, I'm going to write the password in the username box so you can see it. It's capital P, ASSWORD 1. It's capital P, password 1. Okay? So that's what you need. So put in your username in the username box, the password in the password box. I just did that so you could see it. Now mine's a little different, but that's fine. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to have to resize the window here in a second. Now it's going to connect. It's going to take a little bit. You want something where it says discovering plugins, loading inventory. That's when it's working. Okay. Now let me shrink this window down. And I'm trying to make it so it's not a huge recording. Alright, so when you first connect, you're going to see this. Okay, yours will have a little bit less than mine. Yours will have a few icons up here. You're only interested in one icon. You're interested in this icon called VMs and Templates. Okay, click on VMs and Templates and it will look like this. Okay, and I have more access than you, so I'll have more items here, but just yours will be close. So when you click on VMs and Templates, go to vSphere or vcenter.rose.edu. Expand that, and you'll see Rose Labs. Expand that, and then you guys will see schools. You won't see all this other stuff at the top. Now, you will if you have access to it. But for the most of you, it's going to be vCenter, then Rose Labs, then you'll see schools. Then you will see Rose State. Again, you only see the ones you have access to. Okay? All this other stuff you see in these other schools. You'll go to row state, and then you'll see the class, CIT 2403, or whatever class you enrolled in. It could be forensics, it could be whatever, okay? But I'm remaking this recording for my spring 2014 Advanced Networking Concepts class, but all the classes are about the same. So you go there, and you click on the plus sign, and you will see your name, okay? At least you should. Or some machine. Whatever machine you have access to, that's the one you use. For this class, for instance, Sean right here, I put 2 machines in Sean's folder. I put Server 08 and Windows 7. Okay. The way you use these, I'm actually going to do it with this machine so I don't screw up anything. I'm going to actually reset the snapshot. I installed snapshots on these so I can revert back and undo changes and stuff like that. But I'm going to here's how you run your machine. Say this is you here. Okay. Now, you do have some tabs up here on the right. They're not overly important. I do not recommend using the console tab because it doesn't work so well. Here's what you do. If you right click and you say power on, okay? I see at the bottom is powering on the machine. Now I'm going to right click and say open console. Okay? I can also click open console up here. Now when I do open console, it actually pops out a screen. I'm trying to make it so it stays in view of the window here. And it'll actually start for you. So we're actually running Windows Server 2008 right now inside of whatever your OS you're on. Okay, so that's how you run it. It's pretty simple. Right click, power on. Right click and open console. And I tell you to install VMware tools. You do stuff like that by clicking on VM, guest, install tools, stuff like that. Pretty basic stuff. Okay, so this is just how you get into vSphere. The rest of the stuff you can read, by going through the assignments. Now, when you're done with your machine, this has actually got to be installed, which I'm not going to walk through. It's Windows. Shut it down. Shut it down is normal. Okay. Now, if you forgot to shut it down, you can always right-click over here and say power off. Okay. Now, it's going to warn you. Whoa, you sure you want to shut that off? And I'm going to say yes. The reason I say this is we have 4 servers running upstairs. I'll actually show you. Okay. We have 4 hosts or 4 servers running. And if I can get this thing to go to the top, you will see. Come on, stop it. You will see the machines of it. We have 4 hosts, ESX 1 through 4. Okay. Now look at the number of machines below that. You'll see there's lots and lots and lots and lots of machines. Okay. Each of these hosts can handle maybe 10 virtual machines running at a time. So if we have 4 hosts, each one of them can run 10 hosts or run 4 machines. Each of the hosts could run 10 machines. So that's 10 times 4 is 40. So we can pretty much run 40 machines on our network. Fine. Maybe even a few more than that. But if, like this class alone, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 students, 2 machines each. That's 16 machines. So if you all leave them running forever, you're using up a lot of my capacity. So what my point is, when you're not using your machine, shut it off. It's just Windows, shut it down. If you don't, I will shut it down for you. And I won't save your work. I just say shut down, and it's gone. Okay? So, you right-click on it, you power it on, okay? You use it, you open console, whatever. Then you right-click, power off when you're done, if you forgot to shut it down through Windows. Now, you can also start it by clicking on the little power on button and power off here. There's also the open console button. So, it's really very easy to use, but it gives you access to our network, and throughout the courses at Rose State, you'll be accessing multiple different machines. This class, you got 2 of them. Multiple other classes, you have multiple as well. Now, you can change your password. Okay, I'm going to show you where to do that. You go to um.cyber.rose.edu. That stands for User Manager, um.cyber.rose.edu. You can put in your username and password. I'm going to put in I'll put in administrator. Well, yeah. Maybe I won't. There you go. You guys will see on the right hand side, you'll see this update password area. Okay? You won't see the left side, you'll see the right hand side. So if you want to change your username, go in there just like it says, put in your username, put in your old password. If you do not know your old, obviously you just logged in so you know your old password. You can put in your old one, then your new one, and do change password. Okay? Pretty simple to do. Now I can change your password if you forget it. so I can override the whole no old password. But for you guys, put in your password 1 and change. Again, there's no personal information here, but you wouldn't want other students in your machine. Okay, so that's how to get into it. It's pretty short and sweet. It runs, there's Windows clients, the majority of them now. I also run it on Mac. It does not like it. It won't run on a Mac, but I run Fusion, VMware Fusion inside of there. You do have access to VMware Fusion for free through MSDNAA. Check your student email. You will see information about that. So you can get VMware Fusion from MSDNAA. No, I'm sorry, VMware Fusion from VMware, which is similar to how we do MSDNAA. There's a link in your email. And then you can run this on a Mac. You can run it on whatever you want. There's also a Linux client up there. There's all kinds of them. So, all right. Hopefully that'll let you get in there. Thanks.